Hi, Richie here on the Sacro Allotment up at Tull Cross with an update. So I'm standing here on this beautiful patio that is being laid now, and coming here is going to be our greenhouse. That's going to be really helpful for us for growing plants, both for the allotment here and also for the beds and the Japanese garden that we want to start down in Tull Cross Park. We'll be able to propagate a lot of plants from seed and cuttings, have a lot more space for propagation. Walking down here, you can see the bamboo canes. We've got our climbing beans planted here. We're a little bit late getting this bed organized, so usually you plant your climbing beans out around the middle to the end of May. We planted them in the middle of June because that's when we got the ground ready, but hopefully if we get more fantastic beautiful days like this, that won't be a problem and we'll still get a really good crop. And this bed here up against the fence, we've planted it up with leeks and lettuces. The leeks are a great vegetable that can sit there over winter, so we can start to harvest some of these just before Christmas. We can leave a lot sit in the ground until February or even early March next year, harvesting every second one, making some space for some other crops. Really good crop for growing in Scotland, can really handle most of our winters. And then up here you see our courgettes. Again, they're a bit late going into the ground, but hopefully they'll take off. If we get more sunny days like this, that won't be a problem. Up at the end here we have our flower beds, calendula buzzing away, lavender, lots of ladybirds, bees, parasitic wasps, hoverflies. They absolutely love it. On this side as well we've also got some chamomile mixed in there and a couple of raspberry plants and forget-me-nots. So it's really good for biodiversity in the garden, so it's not just filled with vegetables. This is our strawberry bed. And if you've ever wondered why strawberries are called strawberries, it's traditional to mulch over the bed with straw, and this does a couple of different things. This keeps the weeds down, so there's less light hitting the soil so weed seeds can't germinate. It also keeps the moisture in the soil, which is really good, and you have to water less. But one of the most important things is that when the strawberries fruit, they come and they lie down on the dry straw. Straw dries out very quickly with some sun. So if the strawberries would lie down on just the earth, they would stay wet and they would mold before they ripe. But as long as you have the fruits just sitting on the straw, it keeps it nice and dry, it keeps it off the wet, cold, dirty ground, and you can harvest that clean fruit, no problem. Up behind me, you can see our potatoes doing really, really well. That's a variety called pink fir apple. It is a little bit, doesn't have the greatest blight resistance. But so far there's no signs of blight. If there is, which wouldn't surprise me with such muggy hot weather that we've been having recently, we'll cut off the green parts of the plants before the blight can spread from the leaf to the root, and then leave it about 3 weeks for the skins to thicken up on the potatoes on the ground. Will grow a little bit more as well. They've built up energy, and then we'll harvest a little bit early. But if we're very lucky and we don't get blight, we should get a real bumper crop out of that bed. The plants are doing really well. And here is our dwarf kale that you saw probably if you watched the video from about a month ago. You can see it's really taken off and come about 5-6 times larger in just a month. The reason for this netting is one of the biggest pests of cabbage family plants, which kale is part of, is the cabbage white butterfly and also pigeons. So we have this netting with the size of the gaps. It's too small for the butterfly to get through. And what I've done today is actually lifted the netting because a lot of the leaves were touching against the netting, and then of course the butterfly can come down and still lay its eggs, and then we'd have caterpillars on the inside. So today I came along, took the netting up, and I harvested all this kale. That's a whole lot of kale. It's early to harvest this. Usually we'd be harvesting most of this from the end of August, beginning of September. But as this was touching up against the edge, it was important that we removed it so we don't have caterpillars on the inside. So it's a lot of kale. Kale is really healthy, of course, high in vitamin C, high in iron. It's a shame that we aren't running sessions with people at the moment, because everyone could take home a bit of kale and that'd be really good to have something healthy in your diet. But as this is obviously too much for me and I'm here on my own today, I'm going to share that with other people who have allotments here at the complex. See you again. Bye bye.